No, it's too long. That's too much. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit. I got. You think with how much Samsung likes to brag and boast about their wider front-facing camera, that I wouldn't have to put it this far back. But it's whatever. I know I said I was probably going to game stream, but didn't really feel like doing that right now. Probably do it within the next couple days, but okay. Let's go let a few more people hop in here. Just bring the bag in there with you.
I'm gonna take the whole bag with me.
Okay.
You're getting ahead of me because you want to record your video right now.
Shut the fuck
Don't fucking look at me all ugly.
What you looking at? Get in there. Get in there. Oh, nice Pixel 4a. I wanted to try that, but I didn't know. I never got around to it, but I've heard very good things about it. So for this stream, I guess I want to talk a little bit about this whole Apple lossless audio deal. And the main reason is because it's quite funny what the limitations are. So for one, you need corded headphones, right? So it's going straight through Apple Music, which you could get on Android. So say you got any phone with a headphone jack or whatever, you could just use it on there, or even just USB-C audio. You have it on there. Lightning corded, obviously that's the thing. And yeah, it's just their lossless audio. So very much how like Tidal has MQA, and they have master quality, and they have masters and stuff like that you can listen to on there. Apple is offering you lossless audio, and the issue is it's only going to be able to be utilized while you're using corded headphones. So say you have, I literally just had them. Oh, they're behind the fucking phone. So say you have AirPods Pro. Can't use them. Can't use lossless audio on AirPods Pro. They don't have any sort of audio codec that you could utilize to be able to have any sort of higher quality compression algorithms through true wireless headphones. So, say you have the AirPods Max, though. The AirPods Max obviously are Bluetooth, but they can be corded, right? You can just get the lightning to 3.5 or the lightning to lightning cable or lightning to USB-C, so you connect it to either your iPad Pro, your if you have an older iPhone or any other phone, or if you have any other iPhone, right? So you can do that. Even if you do that, guess what? You can't use Apple lossless audio through that either. It's very weird. It's a very weird limitation to have. And this wouldn't be a limitation that they would have if, newsflash, they didn't try to be courageous and take the headphone jack out. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act as if every single phone truly cared about the audio coming out of their headphone jack. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm not going to sit here and act like every single streaming service truly cares about how well audio sounds. YouTube Music sure as hell doesn't, but you have but you have those like Quobuzz and Tidal that do care about it, and even Spotify, and now apparently Apple Music. So those things to me kind of suck. And it's kind of why it's very funny. And now with Apple doing all talking all that stuff about the headphone jack is antiquated technology that we can do better with Bluetooth or the Lightning port, and they just haven't done that, is very telling and very fun. It's just overall funny because they give you this they gave people this kind of this like false hope to get them to buy into their wireless ecosystem with either AirPods Pro, regular AirPods, AirPods 2, AirPods Max, things like that. And now eventually with the rumored and highly leaked AirPods 3 that basically just they basically it's very hard to get this shit off of here without damn near breaking it. Like these I will say this about they basically look like AirPods Pro without the silicone tip on it. So that's very weird to me, but nonetheless that's something I just wanted to bring up. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not completely it's weird, man, because I feel as if the V60 just had an overall better look as to where it might just be the kickstand that's on this case, honestly, but whatever. So, any questions about anything you guys can ask here? Like I said, I was just gonna play Doom Eternal, but I just didn't feel like doing that right now. I really did. I'm a little bit tired, so I just decided, I'll probably do it tomorrow or something. God, I need my haircut. Yeah, in terms of the Pixel 4a 5G, what made you go to that phone in particular? I want to know. Because, like I said, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about getting the Pixel for the longest time. I just never have. Like, it's kind of in the same boat of a. No, I don't really. No, I play on console, and Valheim isn't on console right now. So, and I don't have a PC. But I mean, I do have a laptop, but it's an older laptop. But I haven't really tried to see if Valheim would even work on that. But it's honestly not even really a game I'm that interested in. I've watched a lot of it, and it's cool, but I'm not into like the building games really. And MMO type games don't really grab me. Now that I'm saying they're trash, I don't think that, but they're just not for me. Like, yeah, right, literally right here is my PlayStation. So it's kind of odd, but yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about it, about the Pixel 4a 5G. Um, I wanted to get the Pixel 5 mainly because I don't know why, really, no real reason, but I just wanted it, and I just never got around to it. I decided to focus on, say, the S21 Ultra V60 still, and maybe saving to get the One Mark III. Um, those are the phones I've been actually looking forward to quite a bit. But we'll see with the Pixel 6. There's weird leaks about the Pixel 6 that are quite interesting, like the Whitechapel thing and whether or not they'll use their neural core and all that stuff that they had with the Pixel 4, which made that phone a beast. But yeah, apparently they pretty much gave up on like solely. So the whole face recognition, face unlock thing, they kind of said screw it on. But honestly, for me personally, I prefer fingerprint sensors anyway. Like face unlock is cute, but it's just not something that I'm like I need. Like especially with most phones where it's just like this, it just scans your face. It takes a picture of your face and that's it. But yeah, I've always like I played with a Pixel 4 XL very briefly, but with with the amount of time I've used it, I didn't really have that much bad to say about it. It was decent. I didn't have any opportunity to like do any testing on it because it was technically my girlfriend's phone. But yeah, it's very weird because now it's starting to get warm here in Minnesota, Chaska, and Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's not getting hot, hot, but it's getting warm. My girlfriend decided to come in the room, but it's not getting super hot. It's getting like warm out, and it's like 70 degrees as opposed to like the past few months. It's been in like the 40s to 60s, which is pretty, which is cool, obviously. But yeah, it's really interesting to finally get this kind of weather. I personally prefer it to be cold because I'm naturally hot, but yeah, the whole Apple thing is very funny. And I haven't seen anybody try to like defend it or anything. I think everything I've seen has been people kind of like disappointed that that's a thing, that they decided, oh, even the AirPods Max, the ones that can go corded, just can't get that sort of benefit. Spending $600 on a pair of headphones, which is basically just, oh, it's made out of these high end materials, and it has very good noise cancellation. Basically, that's all you get. And to me, that sucks because you go out your way to buy some expensive headphones like just so you look like you're getting into this very high end ecosystem, and it's kind of giving you this like baseline type of deal where, oh no, we just have AAC on iOS. That's all we have, and it kind of sucks. But it would have been nice for people with that to get it. Yeah, a lifestyle product, but the my problem with just saying that, and that's what a lot of people say, is that if it's a lifestyle product, wouldn't you want to wouldn't you want things like higher end audio for your lifestyle product? Like a phone in general is a lifestyle product. I know exactly what people mean by that. Like it's an entire ecosystem. They play off of the emotions of how, oh, get this red leather case for your iPhone 12 Pro Max. And look, it's seamless. It just goes with the back of the phone. And that's all they do. And they just like to play off those emotions. And I get it. But if I'm paying top dollar for something, because the AirPods Max are like the most expensive. I think they're the most expensive true wireless Bluetooth can out right now. That doesn't include like infrared ones. But but here's the thing: rather than Apple doing the entire issue is that Apple made people not care in the first place. You know, um, if they made it a point to make people care, like they did for generations, by having like the iPhone was a smartphone that came out where a lot of smartphones didn't have headphone jacks. They would have adapters, which is very funny. And it got to this point where they decided that they were going to move on from it, but they didn't really improve on anything. And when you tell people that, a lot of people just become complacent because Apple says it's better, but they don't quantify it. It's the same deal when they say that the A14 is like twice as fast as the old chip, which was also twice as fast as the competing chips from last year or this year or whatever. And it's never true, but they just go off of that, right? And most consumers don't care. I'm not saying you need to care about being able to listen to high quality audio on the go. You don't have to care about that. But for me, crap, my bad. Yeah, I can see that. That's definitely something that has become this thing. It's become the norm today. And why the moment Apple does something, everybody else follows. Like even Samsung does it now. Or they used to wait a few years, then copy Apple. Now it's just, oh, we're just copying them right off the jump and just doing everything they do the next year, you know. Um, and it's really weird. It's stupid because it's like they add all these sort of cool audio features they add all these cool audio features to what am I trying to say? To the iPhones and to their wireless headsets and stuff like that, or headsets, wireless earbuds, and all they really do is just say they add spatial audio and all this stuff, and then nothing else after that. Oh, thanks for coming through. I really do appreciate it. It gets to the point to me where it's like, do people just care when the company says it's better rather than them actually seeing that it's better? And I'm not going to go into this whole planned obsolescence shit because I don't necessarily believe that, but yeah, I remember that stuff. And when like companies like Huawei would get celebs to promote their phones by using their phones on Twitter, like saying crap, very nice things about their phones on Twitter, but it would be like Twitter for iPhone right under it. Those things, like, it's very funny. It was like Gal Gadot's like, Huawei, the best camera I've ever had on a phone, and things like that. Twitter for iPhone. Like, it was always so funny. Now Gal Gadot actually uses an Android phone, which is funny, but it's just hilarious, you know. Marketing definitely does matter, and I feel like it's less to do with the marketing of a phone now because people know that what an iPhone is. People know a new iPhone comes out every year. People know what a Galaxy is. A new Galaxy S series phone comes out every year, right? So they don't necessarily care about what is marketed, especially when Samsung in particular tends to go more into the specs anyway. They tell you a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, a variable 120 hertz display at quad HD, and things like that. Basic consumers don't care about that, but they will go to the next phone because they'll go to the next phone because it's the next Galaxy S phone and I need the newest one. It's the new iPhone and I need the newest one. Even though you would pretty much be good with just the same phone you've had for like a year or two. Like I know people that have like stuck with an S9 all the way up till now. My homie has an S10 still, and I personally think he's fine with it. Yeah. I don't even think Robert Downey Jr. really helped sell HTC phones either. Like, Jason Statham didn't help the G5 sell. Like, I don't understand why companies think that using celebrities is what's going to make a phone be more profitable. It just makes you waste more money. And to me, like, say if Samsung decided to get a David Attenborough type person to come and talk about the Samsung phone in an Animal Planet or in a Planet Earth type way, people wouldn't be that care that much. At the end of the day, they'll be like, "Oh, it's just a faster phone," like, and that's it. But I think my ire with all of that when it comes to this is like what I do like about Apple is that they tend to be very good with backwards compatibility in terms of like, okay, say you have an iPhone 6S, which I have one at my mom's house. And, I'm still able to use things like the AirPods Pro, no problem. I'm able to use all that stuff with no issues whatsoever. And it acts pretty much the same on the iPhone 6S like it does on the 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, 11 Pro Max. There's really no difference aside from the fact that it might be a little bit slower because it's an older phone. Um, Apple is very good at that, but I feel like with things like this where they're kind of cutting off at like, okay, these wireless headsets, you just can't get it. Yeah, I really do want a Huawei phone. I've been thinking about it so hard, right? Like so, especially with there literally was a leak about a newer one coming out. Let me I'll just get the cheat. I think it's the P50 or the Mate 50. Like, let me look. They have like they need to not have both of those come out at the same time because I get them mixed up. Okay, there were leaks, but whatever. I'll look at that in a minute. I guess I just need another phone over here just so I can research some stuff too. Yeah, iPods used to put out very good sound. They put out very good sound. You know, even better than what the iPhones now can do. To me, that's very, very interesting that they just don't care. The iPod bolstered their company up. Yeah, I see the pictures that you take on Instagram and stuff. I'm like, damn, that's a really good camera. Like a lot of a lot of people like I don't intentionally sleep on Huawei or anything like that. I know I can import them and all that, but I'd rather be able to just buy them officially through the US at some point in time, you know, because one, it's just easier. Like to have a phone with a US ROM that I don't have to sit here and download the APKs and G apps and all that stuff as if I'm rooting the phone. I just don't feel like doing all of that. And I've kind of grown out of that phase. The last time I truly like rooted and installed G apps and did all that stuff on a phone was like the G3 and the Note 3. um, those were the phones that I did that the most with. It was very fun. Don't get me wrong, but even back then, I would miss things like I would miss all the stuff you were able to do in the camera apps of those phones. Oh, yeah, the Mate 20. Let me look some things up here. It's funny. The Mate 20 Pro looks like the new Moto G Power. Well, the new Moto G Power looks like the Mate 20. Okay, so look at that, right? The V60 does a way better job at lowering the exposure when you show something on screen. Jesus, look at that, right? Now, let me show you what the Moto G Power 2021 looks like. I want to just get a back shot, which sounds very, but look at that. They look very similar. Obviously, the camera module on the Mate 20 Pro is far more square than this is like a more rounded square, but they look very goddamn similar. But yeah, let me look back at that. 597 on Newegg. It's very weird. Okay, so here's the problem that I tend to have with when people say the AirPods have fantastic call quality. It's the same thing with the Galaxy Buds Pro as well. The Pros. Comparing them to say my LG Tone Free FN7s, which were the ones I very much liked a lot before I got the Galaxy Buds Pro. The Buds Pro have compromises compared to that headset, but people constantly say, "Well, the AirPods Pro have fantastic call quality, nice and loud and clear, right?" And if they do, they do. It's probably if they do, they do. Like I'm not about to sit here and act like you're wrong for saying that. I don't necessarily feel that way, but it comes to the point for me when I'm like, when I'm walking and I have my Galaxy Buds Pro in, for example, right? Which are the ones I'm using right now because I'm using my S21 Ultra as my main phone, right? Calls kind of drop out. Now, to be fair, it depends on your reception and things like that as well. So you got to keep that in mind. But I feel like it comes to this point where people kind of have this, they're in this like ever constant honeymoon phase with something, and they don't ever want to admit the flaws of a device ever. But yeah, wait, what? Oh, because that's why is it giving me chip to turkey? Oh, it's because I'm using Opera, and Opera has shouldn't explain. Yeah, that's honestly been that was a thing with corded audio, right? Basically, the top dogs did nothing but like say like here's an example, right? Sennheiser IE 800s, right? I love these. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't love these at all. They're fantastic, but are they the best IEM that I've ever had? No. I would much rather buy 1 to 3 pairs of short tapes and then still have money left over than pay the amount of money those costed brand new. I didn't buy them brand new, but I think they're like $800 brand new. And I feel like a lot of the cheaper brands, the ones that tend to focus on giving you more bang for buck, like say Sound Peats and all those, they pack more tech into them. And I'm not talking about multiple drivers or larger drivers and things like that. Now, you might actually need a replacement because AirPods tend to have really weird issues. Like during the winter, my AirPods randomly just decided to not work because it was super cold out. And I didn't have any sort of issues with that with any other of my true wireless earbuds. And I thought I had a defective pair, right? I was looking up on Apple stuff and their forums, and it didn't really tell me anything. So what I did was like, you know what? I'll just wait till I get back to my mom's house, and I plugged them in, and they worked just fine after that. So you gotta test these things and make sure that you'll be fine. But in terms of that, I think what I'll do is I'll just use my G8 to monitor the chat. Let me do that real quick. That way I can actually read you guys from here and not have to worry. Um, with the AirPod Max. It's funny because a lot of people say they love the AirPod Max, right? They do. And that's totally fine. A lot of people say they're fantastic. Some people say that they're fine. But then you compare them to something like the Drop THX Panda or whatever, and people are like they don't really hold water there. When you when you buy a headphone that's focused on giving you a lot of features, what tends to happen is that they don't really focus on giving you the best audio possible. Like people, it depends on you, right? Obviously. Your 12 Pro Max? I used the 12 Pro Max alongside my V60 for quite a bit. They complement each other very well because what you get is you get the very best that Apple has to offer. Obviously, one phone has specific flaws that the other doesn't. I personally don't like how Apple handles HDR. I just don't. I know people are like, oh, it's so pretty. I don't like dynamic HDR. I think it still needs a little bit of work. But in terms of what the V60 offers over the 12 Pro Max, better like overall low light performance for me personally. I don't like how Apple their lens design, I just don't like it because it brings you this kind of it the lens flares and lens dots on an iPhone are kind of garbo, to be real. It makes video kind of like video recording at night with a bunch of street lights around like basically a non-factor. It makes taking low light pictures when there's a lot of street lights as well a non-factor as well. You got to make sure you're not directly under street lights because it'll reflect off that as well. There are a lot of issues that I have with what Apple did with their lens design that make me very irksome and worrisome about the 13s because it looks like they're going to go with an even larger sensor this time around, and that lens may protrude even more. Oh, the Pixel 5 XL. I don't remember them even talking about they were going to release it. I just I just didn't. It's because the 4A 5G was the bigger pixel of that of last year, where it had the larger battery and it also had 5G. So I guess they just decided not to release the Pixel 5 XL and just make a regular Pixel 5 because it was a smaller phone, gave you 90 hertz, gave you decent performance, gave you very good cameras that you typically get from a Pixel, things like that. So yeah, I really do still want to try Pixel more for their cameras. I only used a Pixel camera once and it really wasn't a photo I was able to truly sit here and like analyze. Yeah, the chip shortages this year, well, last year technically, but that leaked into this year is just bad. um, like obviously the new gen consoles are clearly something you can bring up and be like, oh, that's just bad, right? Because it is. The GPU shortages as well is something that's very bad. People scalping, buying a whole bunch of them when they shouldn't be able to. That's something that's terrible. Buying them and then doubling the price so that people are and desperate people will just buy them. It sucks what happened. It sucks what kind of happened to a lot of this last year, and it wasn't just COVID that did it. It's not COVID. Well, government's reaction to COVID. I'm not going to blame the virus itself, but it kind of came to this point of factories were burning down, got caught fire and things like that, and it kind of became this thing of we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait. Sony even came out and said that there may not even be more PS5s well through 2022, and now there are leaks of a slim PS5. So, which personally I would prefer anyway, because that console is basically a router. Like the PS4 Pro is big enough, right? This is kind of a big system right here. But the PS5, that thing looks like an alien marker from like Dead Space or something. It's very weird. Oh yeah. Oh, but do you like that? Wait, did the Pixel? Wait, you talking about the regular Pixel 3 or the Pixel 3 XL? Did you say? Let me look again. No, you said 3 XL. But are you willing to sit there and deal with that bathtub notch? God, people are dumb. Did all the complaining about the fucking notch on the Pixel 3 XL, but you don't care on the iPhones, period. Well, I think LG kind of came to this point where, like, because here's the thing: you compare a G8 to what was the phone that came out that year? Let me look. You compare the G8 to LG G8, so a year that came out. No, not the G Pad. Not the G Pad, damn it. 2019. So, hmm? I keep forgetting we didn't have a G series phone last year. Christ. So, V40 Note 9, I think. So maybe the S9 was what was around then. Let me check. I'm trying to figure this out. Like Alex Jones, I need to have the documents, right? Yeah, people gravitate to Samsung because of they put like over $1 billion into their marketing, and a lot of people switched over to Samsung. God, I'm trying to find the release date. Jesus Christ, 2018. Okay, so G8 Note 9, same year, right? Is that? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm thinking of Note 10. Yeah, Note 10. Jesus Christ. Note 10 G8, same year, right? So let's say S10. S10 and G8 come out same year. Um, People say the G8 is a bad phone because it doesn't have everything the Samsung phone has, right? But it's less money. Apologies, I'm catching up because I was doing some research there, but yeah, Dead Space 1 and 2 are really good games. 3 is not in terms of game quality, but in terms of the pivot that they made. Dead Space 3 is pretty much like a Resident Evil 5, where it's a really fun game. It just doesn't really feel like a Dead Space game to a lot of people. Um, but when I played it with my friend, it was a very good time. Pixel talking about making their own chipset this year. Yeah, the Whitechapel. It said that those are going to be for the alluded Pixel 6 XL and things like that. May not be for their lower end phones. Like say, if they make a regular Pixel 5 or they make a Pixel 5A, that might just use a Snapdragon 765 or whichever is the lower end chip to use this year. LG phones are as good as Samsung, but people gravitate to Samsung. Yeah, they do. Um, as good is highly subjective. Um, it depends on who you are and what you like out of your phone, right? For me, in my personal experience, all the way from the V10 slash V20 to Note 5 and Note 8 and V30, I've always tended to edge out towards the LG device over the Samsung device that I had of that year. But that was because I was very much prioritizing things like the video and the photo and the camera overall and the audio. And Samsung just didn't really prioritize that until now, really. They did add a whole bunch of like 4K was a thing on the Note 5, Note 4, right? And it was nice, but I feel like LG did a very good job with the chip constraints that they had when it came to the V10 of making your phone feel like a professional camera at the time. So I gravitated more towards what LG did overall compared to what Samsung would be doing at the time. You can watch my V20 versus Note 5 video, that old ass video, and that has like 20,000 views or something like that. And you can see that I do love both phones, but I gravitated towards the V20 a little bit more due to what it offered. Yeah, Sony made a profit last year, which was very, which was very interesting. It's weird to look at this because when I look at the S21 Ultra's display, I have less of my head cut off than from I'm looking at the G8. But it was very interesting because it was like every 6 months Sony used to put out a phone, and that's why they were losing money. And when now that they're putting out phones yearly and they're just like, okay, here's three phones, the one, the five, the 10. And that's what they do. It was the better decision to do. Even LG, when they decided to strip back their what they decided to put on, what kind of phones they decided to put out, there were still multiple versions of certain phones. There were like three different versions of the Velvet, where there was a Snapdragon 845 version, a Snapdragon 765 version, and a MediaTek version. And that might be that might be what aided in them probably leaving the market because they still were kind of doing this multiple version of a phone thing. And, it was bad. But it's nice that Sony has finally decided to be like, okay, we know what kind of thing we want to do with our phones now, so let's put out three that are not necessarily identical, but give you a similar enough experience just at different tiers of the market. The Xperia 1 is your 4K 120 hertz monster, right? The Xperia 5 is your 1080p 120 hertz monster. And the Xperia 10 is just what the compact used to be, basically. And that's very nice. Well, they used to, the first stylus phone LG ever put out was the LG G3 Stilo or whatever, right? And it was interesting. And I guess why they decided to just have the LG Stilo phones be, or was it the G3 Stylus? I think it was the G3 Stylus. And I think why they decided to do that and just put it out on like say entry entry level phones that you can get you can get a LG Stilo 6 on Boost Mobile for $100 and maybe a Sprite, right? And it because that's what people liked in that price sector. They wanted a note, but they didn't want to buy a note. Even when a note was like say the Note 10 Lite, which is heavily compromised compared to what the regular Notes had. It became this thing of, well, people liked it because it was a big phone, and hey, if I want to use this stylus, I could use the stylus, and it does a very good job at letting me do that. I really did want a higher end LG phone with a built-in stylus, but I think what the V60 offers you with giving you the option to use active pens is like the best middle ground ever, because at the end of the day it's still an option, but it's not taking that 5,000 milliamp hour battery away from you like the Note 20 Ultra does from the S20 Ultra, because it needs that S Pen. So yeah, yeah, that sharp aquos I seen pop up. I didn't pay attention to it really. It's that people are going to be, oh, it's a singular camera and all that stuff. But let me look this up because I really do want to look at this real quick. Sharp aquos. Was it the R6? Yep. It's a huge 1 inch camera sensor, which for phones is like insane. Um, some phones get close, but they all don't really. There are a lot that don't really get to that, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at this. Yeah, it basically has two cameras. Now let me look at this. Well, technically three if you count the selfie camera. But let me two two what? A 240 hertz screen? Jesus Christ. Apologies if you're Christian and I said that, but that is crazy. What? Oh, a TOF sensor on the back. Okay, that's nice. If, okay, is it because if you guys don't know what TOF does, you can look at my LG V60 Z camera video. That's basically what you can do on that. Um, and man, that is crazy. How it's a 20 megapixel. No, it's not a 20 megapixel camera. What is it? This phone, you know what this phone really reminds me of? It reminds me of the Lumia 1520, where it just has this big old 20 megapixel camera on the back. The words the world's first pro Exo OLED 6.67-inch screen. Dynamic refresh rate between 1 hertz and 240 hertz. Okay. And it's a little. That's crazy. That's insane to me. Let me see if there are any other. I really like that white. Apologies, you're gonna see my picture in picture down there, but Jesus, hold on. I like it. I like that white. It looks very nice. Um, but let me see if I can find a specs list, just so I can read them off here. No, boy, I just want to see, and it has a Leica lens too. Ooh. No, they don't have a full specs list yet. So let me go. Sharp Aquos R6 specs. Because I just want to read it off, right? I don't want to have to read a goddamn. This might tell me a little bit better. Okay, these are wrong. These are wrong specs here. I literally just looked. But yeah, a singular camera sensor that's a 20. I think it's a 20 megapixel. I can't find. Yeah, it's a 20 megapixel 1 inch sensor. I guess I'll do DP review just to see. Um, f1.9, but it's a larger sensor as well, so it'll take more light in. So it not having a f1.5 is fine, but um a 1080, like above, slightly above 1080p display. It's not quad HD, which whatever. Has the Snapdragon 888, um either 12 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs, or I do think there's a 12 gig with 256, and it still has a SD card option, expansion option, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is very nice. Obviously, USB-C connecting, USB-C charge port, and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So that's nice. Um, yo, that's pretty. Yeah, this is gonna. That is interesting, man. That is very interesting. Sorry, I got a little bit amped up, but yeah, that Aquos is very nice. That's on paper that sounds really nice. Obviously, I'm going to wait and see what people say about it, but it's nice to see something that's like, okay, a full 20 megapixel sensor on there that just takes 20 megapixel stills. Like, it's nice having a 108 megapixel camera on your phone, but the issues with that is, guess what? It just takes 12 megapixel stills, right? If you're not going into the 108 megapixel mode, that also limits you from being able to do things like, I'll look at that in a minute. My bad. But yeah, that is a very interesting phone, to say the least. We'll see what it does. I didn't really see any pricing, but whatever. Yeah, Sharp hasn't put out an Aquos phone in a bit, and I guess it's better to do like every now and again than to try to do a yearly thing like everybody else. And you can clearly see the advancements of what they're doing. So yeah, but as I was saying, um, it's just it's very nice. It's very cool to see things like that happen again, because it goes to show you that phones aren't going completely stagnant. It isn't just Samsung and Apple that you need to care about. It isn't just OnePlus or any other manufacturer that you need to care about. It's, look, you want more interesting phones to come out. I honestly, Xiaomi, Huawei, Sharp, all these other manufacturers are doing other things. Oh, and also what's the other one? Oppo, which I guess OnePlus, but Oppo. They're also doing interesting stuff too with that that microscope lens and things like that. Those are really cool. That's really cool. um, yeah, that's just very nice. Apologies, I got a YouTube comment. Thanks for clarification. The Reddit thread was kinda. I assume it means flood sensor, not FLIR, whatever the hell that means. Dude, I really want more audio companies to get into phones. I really do. Um, when LG was still around, I really like before they did the B&O and the Meridian thing. I really wanted LG to go with Sennheiser. I really did. I really did. It is nice to see camera companies kind of going into this like let's partner with some of these like smartphone manufacturers to either get our color science onto phones or lens design or anything like that. That's very interesting and very cool to see. I would like more audio companies to do that. Like obviously AKG is owned by Samsung, so you're gonna see AKG tuning on a Samsung phone or on a Samsung product like the Galaxy Buds Pro, right? You're gonna see that. But I want to see more of these things come. And it kind of sucks because it seems more like smartphone manufacturers aren't interested. Yeah, it really just seems like the smartphone companies aren't interested. I don't necessarily think it's the oh sorry, I need to stretch. So how would you guys feel about me streaming on Twitch more? Um I don't mind doing it on YouTube, but in terms of like say my game streams and things like that, I kind of want to do that over on Twitch. Um Mainly because it's I feel Twitch integration on the PS4 Pro is better than the YouTube integration. Honestly, it just does a better job to me personally. But what's my Twitch? I'll type it here real quick. I don't have a I need to put a picture on there, but the problem is, shit. Am I signed in on anything else? Let me look. Let me let me see. Do I have Twitch on any of these damn phones other than my S21 Ultra? I don't think I do, but I can download it. So Twitch. Because I would rather just have regular ass text streams over here with me just talking on YouTube over here and just have game streams over on Twitch because it just makes more sense. But yeah, I'm downloading the I'm downloading it on my V60 just so I can okay. I think it's better to get the link on twitch.tv. And then I gotta, am I signed in? No, I am not. Let me sign in, damn it. Here's what I'll do. Desktop site. Apologies, I'm just trying to figure this out. Now it doesn't want to give me any of my shit in terms of, say, my profile. So, what is this on? Am I on Chrome? Yeah, I'm on Chrome. Well, that's great. I guess a way to get into this is to just yeah, I really don't want to let me It really don't want to let me. I wonder if it'll let me get a damn link from here. Jesus Christ. This is harder than I anticipated. Oh, okay. I'll probably I'll probably end up putting that in my bio on YouTube just so that it just so that you can look at it through there if you want to find it. But in terms of that, yeah, it's on there. So anything else y'all want to talk about? Um, I know typically I do it for like an hour or two, but and it's over an hour now. But yeah, I'm just waiting for YouTube to allow me to have channel members because that would be very nice. They're still reviewing that, but it would just be nice to have that. For those of you that want to do that crap, obviously, I'm not trying to gatekeep content of the Berserk manga. I have a weird relationship with Berserk. Okay, so I never watched. I never read the manga. What? Whatever. I never read the Berserk manga. What I did was I bought the PS Vita Band of the Hawk game that was like the Muso Dynasty Warriors type game, and that's kind of how I got the most brief synopsis of what that is. But then I started watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos explaining us explaining what Berserk was and stuff like that, and why, and because Berserk has a lot of it inspires a lot of the stuff that I play, right? Like it's kind of all through Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that stuff. And it's very nice, but I just never got into it because I never heard of it until I got deeper into YouTube and seeing a lot of the people that I like listen to podcasts and all that stuff talk about it. And it was and from what I see, it's a very cool manga. I wish dude would I wish I wish the creator would continue writing it so that it could actually be finished and not stuck on that boat. But I just never got the chance to get into it. But I do plan on it. That art is brutal in that stuff. Very detailed. And it's just very interesting how they do that. How how like certain manga artists just go into the intricate detail. That's something you can't really do with shonen manga, where it has to be out every week. And it's very nice to see other manga that they're able to do that kind of stuff. Let me see something real quick. No, my bad. Manganello, Gantz, and Kingdom. I've heard of Gantz. I don't think I've heard of Kingdom though. I do want to get into more manga, start reading a little bit more. I kind of grew out of that stuff after my middle school years, but I do really want to get back into some stuff, especially since the comic book industry is kind of in the place that it is, to say the least. It's in the place that it is, and that sucks. Let me look that up. Ah, Berserk. Bada bing. All right, I found it. Tag not supported. Oh yeah, I should not do that. I always hate when I like put one phone on top of another phone and it tries to oh, oh, I'm fairly certain it's grown folks manga because Berserk eh, I know what goes on in Berserk and I know the gist of what happens in that manga. It's very dark and it's crazy to say the least. But yeah, I'll definitely get into those. Thanks for the tip, man. Um, but yeah, I hate it when I put one phone on top of the other and it tries to read the NFC tag on the other phone. It sucks, but it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, soon what I want to do in terms of more review type things is I want to get like a USB DAC and test it out on something like the S21 Ultra. Mainly because you can't use just a regular ass pass through dongle on the S21 Ultra to use corded audio. You have to get something with a dedicated DAC. And since I since that's the case, it's just better to do it like that. I always appreciate you dropping by, man. It's really appreciated. Um, I know I kind of ramble a lot, but it's what I do anyway, right? um, yeah, I really want to mess with some of these like USB DACs that I can plug in, that I can get an adapter and then plug into the phone, so I can. Damn, someone's dog is going off, and just do that because I just want to see, because I want more phones to be able to push out more high quality audio, right? But the problem is nobody cares about it. The last company to truly care about it is gone now. And while yes, the ROG Phone 5 also has a ESS Saber DAC, it's not the same. So I just want to test things like that out more because it's just fun, right? Mm-hmm. Ah, shit. What?
Are you filming something? Close the blinds.
Well, I mean, it don't matter. Go on. Watch murder shows. Feel M11. Let me look that one up. Feel M11. Oh yeah. I'd have to find that on a sale. That's a bit out of my price range there. But yeah, I've definitely seen this. I've watched like Z reviews review this, I think. You know what I really like? I like Fio's their music app, their music player app. Let me like obviously they make Android based music players. So what they did was that, as you guys can see, not even. As you guys can see, they have a Fio music app right here. So you can just download that on any of your phones and use that if you don't like the bass music app that you have on your phone. Or if you're like if you have a Samsung device where they just don't have it anyway, and you don't like the fact that Samsung's music app is kind of trash. Not in terms of functionality, but due to the fact that one, it doesn't come on the phone anymore. You have to download it through the Galaxy Store, and two, it has ads. Like this, the Samsung phone has ads. It sucks, dude. Because it looks nice. It's a nice, simple, clean player, and it's fast and it's smooth and everything like that. But there are certain times where you open it up and an ad will pop up, and it's stupid. And Samsung kind of makes their phones and their software feel kind of cheap. What streaming service do I use? I used to use Google Play Music because I already had YouTube Premium, so it was a thing where I would just have all my stuff on Google Play Music. They shut that down, so I use YouTube Music, and I know YouTube Music is kind of dog crap, but due to the fact that all my playlists are on there anyway, and well, not on my playlist, my headphone test playlist is on there anyway, and those are like all the songs that I like to listen to pretty much. It's just easier to use it. I tried Tidal and Quobuzz a while ago, but I never really got into them. I do want to try Tidal again, though. I really do. Yeah, I'm really gonna attempt to try that because I tried it once before, but it just was something that I felt I wasn't quite I wasn't quite ready to like say switch all my stuff over yet. But how YouTube is handling YouTube Music, it kind of is. It just sucks to say the least. Like there's so many issues with YouTube Music, man. It ain't even like the quality. I feel the quality is decent, especially if you have like very good Bluetooth headphones or very nice corded headphones with a very nice thing that can actually play those things, right? But it does suck that I don't have Google Play Music. Just sounded better. It sounded way better than what YouTube Music has, man. And I was able to tell that difference, and I just couldn't. I got used to it after a while. I got over it, but you know, it just sucked. For a lot of the albums that I tend to listen to daily, I ripped them onto my laptop in FLAC, and now I just have them on my phone. Yeah, MQA is very weird, man. MQA is very weird. because it was something that was pushed on the V20, right? The V20 was like one of the mass market phones that were advertised as having MQA support. And when I tried Tidal on the V20, and I forget which headphones I tried them with, it was I think the TRN V30 or something. That was before I think that was before I had my Sennheiser HD 650s, and it was just like the album I was listening to sounded way lower than it did on Google Play Music, and I was like, nah, I'll just go to back. Oh yeah, DSD. I used to have I found like this software converter that was able to convert, say, CDs to DSD, right? So it would rip CDs out to DSD. Unfortunately, the V60 on its LG's music player doesn't support DSD, though the phone, which was kind of weird. Like, and the LG's music player is very good, but if you want to use DSD files, you have to download something like, I think the Fio player will do it. I know the Sony player does it, but because I use that a little bit, and the what is that? That USB Audio Player Pro, that as well. You can look it up. I know Samsung phones still support DSD, which is very funny because how are you going to listen to those files? But yeah, yeah, finding a phone that natively supports DSD is kind of difficult. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure an older LG phone does support DSD. I think maybe the V40 can just do it straight from the phone itself through its app. 'Cause having three different phones here is kind of confusing me. But LG V40 DSD. And let me get out of this. Wait, what? Let me look at this. Let me look at this. So now I'm not. This is not what I'm looking for. Damn it. See, I hate it when like a forum post shows a picture, and then you don't get that picture. Yeah, that makes sense. And this is something I also want to talk about because it's like the main reason I didn't try to get like any sort of like other like I didn't try to get a DAP or anything like a digital audio player. Or I didn't try to get like a USB DAC or whatever is because one, FLAC is good enough for me. I don't necessarily care. um, DSD, I feel kind of has a marginal improvement. Like I can hear it, but it's not to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I need every single music file on my laptop to be. um, so that I can put them on my phone. Oh, the Axon 7s. The Axon 7 was a beast even back then. That's crazy. But yeah, just for me, because obviously there's some Android OS limitations that kind of make kind of gimp the V series, in particular the quad DAC V series phones, which is all but the V10. But where they don't really allow higher kilobit audio very much, very well. They kind of gimp the phone in terms of that, and there's no real way for LG to truly reroute that without it probably messing it up. So they kind of just have to play within those limitations, and certain apps will let you do it a little bit better, but what I tend to do is I just tend to convert my files up to a higher higher quality, and just they clearly sound better. Like it's just crazy, man, how changes it just changes a lot of stuff, and people don't seem to realize that until they actually do it. But I don't know, man. I think the phone that's gonna keep the headphone jack. Oh, no, ZTE. That's different. I'm thinking of Asus, but ZTE is very weird because they had it. How many phones did they? How many phones did they? Let me see. Did they keep a headphone jack and a hi-fi DAC with? Because was there a Z an Axon 8? Hey, you better stop that. Not XTE. What the fuck? There ain't no Axon 8. I kind of figured the V50 supported DSD, and the V40 does as well. Yeah, because didn't ZTE go? Did they ever make an Axon 8? I don't think they did. I think it just went from like the Axon 7 to the 10 or something like that. And then that's when they took out things like the headphone jack and all that stuff. And that sucks. Because ZTE and LG did a very good job at taking what HTC left off at and giving people options that were just nice. And I also think the Alcatel Idol phones did a very good job. The Idol 4s and stuff with their front facing speakers. Those are really nice on those as well. A lot of people just took a lot of the DNA from what HTC left and decided to improve on it. Wait, so they must have done something with Android 10 to remove DSD support or something? Or mess with DSD support? That's kind of weird, man. Um, doesn't make any sense. Let me see something. I want to see if the S21 Ultra actually does support DSD. Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra DSD support. Nah, it ain't telling me shit. It ain't telling me nothing. I could probably just go to GSM Arena. Typically, they tell you what audio things they support. So audio things, really. Um, no, I don't really tell you anything on here either. That sucks. I don't think it does, but what did happen to Alcatel? I think they just went back and pivoted back to the more lower end phones, maybe. Let me see here real quick, because I haven't seen an Alcatel phone in forever. So let's go to their site. Why not? Yeah, it looks like they just decided to stick with cheaper phones, which makes sense. And even tablets too. Products, smartphones. Yep. They basically just put out lower end phones, which again is not bad. But no wait, Alcatel 5. What is this? What is this? A 19 by 9 display. Why didn't you just go with 20 by 9? That's weird. View details. Tell me this doesn't look like an HTC phone. This kind of looks like a cross between an HTC phone and an older Sony phone. It has like a smaller bottom bezel, but it has like that big old chunk top Sony bezel of old. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, they just don't get any play anymore, man. It kind of sucks. Um, it would be nice to see more phones be pushed. Give a fuck about all that. Brushed metallic unibody. So it has a metal unibody. It's a metal unibody. That's nice. That's nice. I miss phones that were made out of metal. I don't. Ooh, a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. To be fair, this is probably a way older phone. It looks nice in black though. Like that black looks nice. Like obviously I'm showing you on a phone, but that black looks very sleek and slick. Let me That sucks, man. I would actually like to see what they would do with a newer flagship phone. It's a French slash Chinese brand. That's weird. Oh, I think because TCL also manufactures those phones too, and they TCL also manufactured obviously the BlackBerry Q1 and 2, and they're probably just they probably just don't get much play here as they used to. Back in the Idol 4 4S days, that's when they got the most play. So it's very interesting to see how many companies kind of go away after a while. It's let me do this. It sucks, but whatever, man. Like I just want to see more phones come out. I kind of want to mess with more lower end phones. Like obviously not like 1 to 200 bargain bin phone, $1 to $200 bargain bin phones or anything like that. But yeah, but where where BlackBerry shines is enterprise, right? And it sucks that they just decided to go to Android and not make their own OS. But I kind of feel like the OS wars are done. Like it's basically Android and iOS with some of these smaller offshoot OSs that are made for more lower end phones. I feel it was only right that BlackBerry was like, you know what, man, we'll just we'll just make Android phones, and apparently they were pretty fucking secure still. So, what really, what really saddened me, because I used to use BBM, me and my friend used BBM a lot. When they decided to end BBM for consumer and just have it for enterprise, that really did hurt me because I just really liked it. It was a very nice messaging platform. And it just sucks, man. I just don't have it anymore. Hopefully, they come out with another Android phone. I really do want to mess with them and have it be a flagship. Again, I'm not trying to slag on the key one or two. You know, they're made for the market they're made for. But I want a flagship, man. Like, and I really did like their software keyboard. I remember I used to I used to download the APK and install it on my phone, and I just loved that keyboard. And it sucks that they decided to lock that down too, which makes sense because it's BlackBerry, but it just sucked, man, because it was just a very nice keyboard that I wanted to use on every single phone. And then the moment they decided to be like, nope, and yoink it just sucked. They did do very interesting things though when they were using Android. Um, I just think BlackBerry trying to come back and make another OS just wouldn't work. It just doesn't work today. It's like if LG actually just like say LG comes back, right? And they utilize Palm OS on phones. Oh, look who it is. Hey, brother. My real life friend just came to the chat. I didn't even notice that was you that said they made their decision with the OS too. But yeah, APKs, they're not hard to come by really. It's just more when it comes to things like certain skinned keyboards, and then when it comes to say you try to download, say you want LG's camera app, right? But you want it on another phone, you can't do that because it just won't work. And that's why I don't really like things like Gcam, because it kind of messes with the philosophy of what a phone manufacturer decides they want to do with their camera. But it does suck that Android and iOS decided to just be the ones. People just decided that those were the ones. Windows Phone could have been something. It could have been something. But, whatever. It is very nice though that I will give Android one thing still is that APKs just still will remain a thing. Basically, like you download something like APK Pure, and you just have a list of like apps and games you can download earlier that you can't get here or something like that. It is very nice. Um, it's just cool that you're still able to do that, and that's one of the benefits to not having a lockdown ecosystem. You can do what you want with your phone, and if you want to play Fortnite, you can still do it on here. Oh Lord, there's a lot of dust. The problem with Windows Phone was deeper than what Microsoft is deciding to do now with a lot of their stuff. What happened with Microsoft was that them and Google didn't get along, so you just couldn't get Google apps on the Windows Phone store at all. And I would enable to back up pictures to my Google Photos. I would have to basically save the web page onto the home screen and just be able to use it like that. But I loved my Lumia 1520. That phone was a beast. Yeah, Windows Phone was basically like, especially when the last few were like they were camera phones basically. There were phones that you bought for their cameras, not and for a smoother OS basically that was streamlined and it just felt good to use, but with the lack of apps, like, and that's kind of what killed BlackBerry too, is that you couldn't get certain apps that people wanted, like the key apps that people wanted, you just couldn't get on BlackBerry, and that's what kind of killed them over time. Like, and I think honestly, Microsoft is still a mess when it comes to their storefronts. Like, you think the company that prioritized online anything when it came to consoles, like Xbox Live and things like that, they do a better job at having a better storefront and overall infrastructure in terms of that. Well, you don't need to buy a phone for the camera ever again because I just give you a phone I don't want anymore. um, like I don't really do that either. Like I don't go solely for the camera. I go for the overall package. The main reason the main reason I stick with phones like an LG phone or whatever, a lot of it has definitely comes down to familiarity, you know? Like I've used LG phones ever since the LG G2, ancient times. So familiarity can't comes from that and what they decide to put in their phones. They put a lot of effort into making their phones do a lot of cool shit. And people don't care because oh, it doesn't have a 120 hertz display, you know? And uh sad, man. It's just sad. It's like when people just buy true wireless headphones just to have ANC. People literally buy AirPods Pro just because it has good ANC and not because of the quality of the sound itself, which isn't bad, but you should look more into a product. I thought my TV was messing up. I had my TV muted in the background over there because I was watching TV, but I thought the TV was messing up. I was like, what the fuck? But no, it's fine. Um, Red Letter Media is playing in the background, and it looked weird. Yeah, and yeah, that's always what you should do is you should acknowledge when someone does something cool, something that you like. Because say you don't like the V60, but you like that they give you an option for stylus support. You like that they give you dual an option for dual screen, things like that. Those are things that are very cool and interesting. I want to try the free Buds Pro. I just don't like that they call them free Buds. Cause aren't those the over the ear headphones? Like Huawei ear free buds. Oh, okay, never mind. Those actually look pretty. Those look like what are those damn headphones? I wouldn't necessarily say those look exactly like the the monitor itself looks kind of like an earpod, but the overall head the old it overall doesn't look like AirPods because AirPods have this, especially the AirPods Pro have this like shorter stem right here, and the free buds have the more rectangular look right there. So those are very interesting looking. I didn't know that. I kind of want to try them. I'm very interested to see that. Let me look at the specs here. I mean, obviously they're gonna have ANC. You put Pro on an earbud or whatever, they expect it to have ANC, so I expect that. But that case kind of looks like the Sony earbud cases, dynamic active noise cancellation, 11 millimeter drivers, ultra magnetic drivers. Oh, that ain't bad at all. 30 hours of case life and 6 hours of battery life. That's not bad at all. The only problem for me is the design, not because of the look, but because earpods in particular jet out of my ear a little bit too much for me. Get this crap out of my beard. They jet out of my ear a little bit too much for me. Let me get my Galaxy Buds Pro here just to show you guys how those look. Whereas the Galaxy Buds Pro go in your ear and they barely jet out at all. And to me, what matters less is like, oh, it has active noise cancellation. Not obviously, it's something like haptic feedback. That's interesting. I think the tone-free FN7s kind of have that too, where it has a haptic button. It's still pretty much just like, oh, it's a button, but it's not a physical button. You just tap it, and it just gives you feedback. It's very interesting. But yeah, I might actually look into these because they look nice. They definitely look nice. So the front end. Oh, I see it now. Okay. So it's like right on this side end right here, not where the Huawei logo is, but right there on the side, pretty much like, is it just tap or is it like the squeeze of the AirPods Pro? Yeah, man, I could actually get you another pair of those too. The SB800N, Sony SP800N. Oh yeah, so they basically just make it like the AirPods Pro. What the fuck? Okay, so I ain't gonna call you by your real name, but so you can get these. You can get the ones I got you for like 98 to $118. They don't have them in white like the ones I gave you, but that's fairly cheap, and these are really good headphones too. But yeah, the exact same ones for that much. That's interesting. I actually don't mind the squeeze function on like the AirPods Pro, so that's very nice. I think it's better than just having a tap sometimes, because on the Galaxy Buds Pro, um, it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I accidentally tap my ear and it messes with it. So it kind of gets to the point where it gets a little bit annoying, and there's a little bit of a delay when I tap it and it plays my podcast again. All right, dog. I just don't want to be giving motherfucking people's governments out, you know. or, or as black Israelites would call it, the slave name. But yeah, they didn't. Those didn't jet out that much, and they also stayed in your ear, which is kind of what these do, where they're quite flush. They're quite flush in the ear, and they stay in the ear, no problem. But the main problem I have with these is sometimes it's hard to get them in there the proper way, and for the ANC to be as good as it possibly can, I need to get newer tips for these. Like I want to get the spin fit tips for them just so they can, because apparently that helps with the ANC. Not that I use it all that much anyway, but yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to call out whole communities, but it ain't even black Israelites that be like that. That don't call me by my slave name. That was more of a Malcolm X thing, but I ain't gonna slander the good name of Malcolm X. Um, what else? Shit, I don't even fucking know. I don't even know because I don't even know what I want to do after this stream because initially it was talking about how Apple was being weird. Yeah, we're all products to society at some point, right? But we're not going to get into some deeper philosophical, political conversation about anything. But we do that plenty, but on our free time. But I guess it all depends on how much you want to admit that and get over it. Whether you want to be a hippie and be like, society is killing us, man, or whatever, you know, it don't matter. Man, I don't mind getting a little bit of politics on this. I'm not about to be all like strictly nothing, but I'm not gonna sit here and get all conspiracy theory on people because one, a lot of conspiracy theories are stupid and solely based off coincidence, and two, whatever. Man, I wish. You know what's really funny? So I'm not gonna sit here and tell motherfuckers. I'm not gonna sit here and tell motherfuckers like the skinny on when to get a when to look out for PS5s on say Target and stuff like that because one, I'm not supposed to be doing that anyway, but um I mean, don't get me wrong. I like conspiracy theories. They're interesting to discuss. But when people get into the whole, like, everything is controlled by this one entity kind of thing, like, oh, the J words control everything, it kind of gets nutty and kind of makes me not look at them with any sort of serious light. Like when people were saying that 5G caused coronavirus, and they were burning down 5G towers, thinking that that would stop coronavirus, things like that. But in terms of like, in terms of like conspiracy theories that are fun, I'm fine with. It was like when it's conspiracy theories that you can laugh at and be like, okay, these people are just easily manipulated, then fine. But at the end of the day, there are just some that people like swear by, and it just gets to the point where I just like it gets tiresome, basically. But like I was saying, obviously I can't just give out this the skinny about when to get PS5s and what to look for PS5s on Target, but my boss, my lead on the bus on the trailer when I was throwing the truck, he was like, "Yeah, look at this. Look on this specific day, on this specific time, and you can." I forgot. I literally forgot what day it was. What day it was, but I would advise people to just look bright and early every day, and you may come across one. It's stupid because you can only buy them offline online. You can't get them in store. I think you can set them for pickup, but you can't go into the store and get them off the shelf, which I don't like. But whatever. Yeah, the simulation theory can be a fun one, but then, like every other one, it's literally what people think is real. People think the Matrix is real, and it's like, and that literally can make people go into a more deranged serial killer esque state, or where they don't care about anything at all, and they'll just start doing heinous things. I think I want to create a more podcast like structure for this kind of live stream. Um, so Jesse, when we gonna start our podcast? When we gonna finally get back into this? Because we got plenty to talk about now. Like man, let me test something real quick. I want to see if I turn on the light this way over there, if it'll be better than this one. Actually, I like that better. It's not blowing out. It's not blowing out my skin. So yeah, that's better. All right. Well, since I basically come through every Sunday anyway, let's start it then. I gotta look into more logistic type of things, but like I said, I already set up the email and crap like that for it, so we can just do that. But yeah, for these, I do want to talk more about news, tech news, and all that stuff. Not because everybody else is doing it, but because it's fun. You know, I've always wanted to do this. I wanted to do this more back like a few years ago, but that's when YouTube decided, oh, you're under 1,000 subscribers, you can't live stream anymore. So, you know, that's just something that happened. But thankfully, this is not my full time job, so it's whatever. Damn, it's supposed to be 2 hours again. I'll give it like 5 more minutes because let me 42% is fine. Oh yeah, we should definitely use that other room for that stuff. You know, that would be actually pretty nice to do. Like the basement wouldn't be bad, but I think that other room would probably be better. We'll look into that though. Um, and more higher quality mics would also be nice. But That'll come when it comes. Just make it audio only for a little bit, I guess. Like looking into all this stuff and testing out a lot of this stuff on phones kind of makes it those fucking, how much are those? Like $300, $400 for. Oh yeah, those are not really high res Bluetooth. Yeah, $400. I've seen a couple of videos on those. Um, they do a lot of cool. They do some cool shit where you can use the It has this like USB C to 3.5 millimeter thing that you can plug into something. It can be used as a wireless like receiver or something like that. Like it does some interesting stuff, but I think there are far too many headphones, especially like in the $200 category, that don't have aptX anything, and just it kind of sucks because you want that kind of low latency, higher resolution codec option, and it just sucks that it doesn't have it. Now, when you connect those to a Samsung phone, it does up res your audio, but you shouldn't have to buy a set. You shouldn't have to be in an ecosystem to get shit like that. It's stupid. So I, well, I think in the $100 range of headphones and things like that, they tend to focus more on giving you the best bang for your buck experience, and that's what's really nice. That's what I really enjoy a lot. That's why, like I said, sure, I had a pair of i800s and they were great, but the short tapes to me, I I love them, and I don't want to. For the longest time, I didn't want to say I liked them better. I liked them better, but now I could say it. I probably like them better. Now I really want to try those IE 900s out. I just don't really like the design of them. I don't know. They look kind of weird to me, but it's very funny that Sennheiser sold their audio division. They needed the money though, so they had to do it. They had to do it. I'd rather them do that and still stay in name only than not be around at all. So that's very nice. The T2 Pros. I wanted to try those. Um, I've talked about it a couple times, but I have like the 10P1s, and the only problem I have with those is that, long story short, V60 and the quad DAC, they solely go off of impedance with how much they will push power to headphones, and due to the fact that those are planar magnetic and those require a lot of power, but the 10P1s are low impedance. I think they're like what, 20 ohms. It doesn't push out enough power. It doesn't push out adequate power to be able to drive them all that well. So you have to trick the V60 into treating them as an external audio source, like a speaker, like, or car audio or something. And it's not difficult to do, but I don't want to do that every time I want to listen to a headphone. So I just stick with the short tapes for that. I wonder within the next year or two what phones will do to drastically change. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I was the original in doing that. I think what I did was I saw it on Reddit and saw what people were doing on Reddit, and I just put it in a YouTube video because I didn't really see it anywhere. No, I didn't even do that. What I did was I think people were telling me in the comment section about it. They're like, you can literally trick the V60 into treating certain headphones as an external audio source, and they linked me with the the app that will tell you whether or not the phone is powering it as a high impedance phone or not, or a high impedance headphone or not, and yada yada. And it then I decided, I wonder if I just like, because what I would do initially is I would plug in the cord without the headphone, without the IEMs connected to it, and then I would put one of the IEMs on, and it would automatically like raise the sound to a, a, a proper volume. Because the main problem was it just wasn't loud. It wasn't everything else. Everything else sounded great, but it was just like the volume wasn't on par, and it kind of was like, yeah, I really do love the 10p1s. I just wish 10 Hi-Fi would kind of get out their ass and what the hell? Kind of went not live for a little bit. Sorry about that. I guess that's a good place to call it though. But uh talk a little bit more about this. I kind of wish they would get out their ass and make their earbuds a little bit more high impedance, just so that's not an issue. I'm about saying make 300 ohm impedance headphones, but IEMs rather, but make them a little bit more easier to drive. That's pretty much it. Because I was even kind of having that issue with the 10T3s where they kind of were low in volume, and it was kind of weird, but I gave those to my homies, to one of my friends from work and shit. So when I gave him my V20, because he needed a new phone and a newer phone that wasn't completely battered or anything like that. So that's what I ended up doing there. But what is it? 207. I'll give like maybe 3-4 more minutes. Any other questions? Anything else to talk about for a little bit before I end this and let my I will say the Ultra is not really all that. It's not really warm, um, which is nice. This is a good test to show you that the phone could be pretty damn adequate. Yeah, man. Thanks as always for stopping by. Like I said, probably in the next couple days, I'll probably do a Twitch stream and just play Doom Eternal some more because I do really want to get to the DLC. So, yeah, I'll just do that. But yeah, thank everybody for watching, even those that aren't actually saying things in the comments, in the chat rather. It really is appreciated nonetheless. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. I don't know why I couldn't think about it being Monday. Whatever time of day it is in your area. Have a good one.